Hey guys, welcome back. I missed you last week because I was out of town, but we're back today with more MR2 content. Today, I want to get the wheels that you see here. This is for the passenger side. I want to get them on the car, get the other side on as well because we need to start driving this thing. If you guys followed the last video, you knew I wanted to put some wheel spacers on, so I did get those in. And actually, that was part of the reason why I didn't do a video last week as well, because I didn't have these things here yet. So I couldn't move ahead with getting the wheels on. But I was trying to figure out what's the offset on these wheels, because I know on an MR2, we need 35 offset in the back, 35 in the front. That's typically what works well on these cars. You can run anywhere from 25 to 30 in the front and you're still okay. On the back, 35 tends to just be flush with the fender well right here. Now, these wheels, I try to see what's the offset. There's a 42 on the back on all of them, but I'm not convinced that the offset is 42. So I just kind of played around with some spacers that I had just to kind of see what's the best offset to get these wheels flush with the fender well, because they were kind of poked in. And if you remember, when this car came, it came with a body kit, so it has the border kit on it. So the side skirts are not on right now, but I'm gonna probably put them on. And with those side skirts, they're very aggressive, so if you don't have the right offset, it just looks really weird. And I like to have flush fitment, especially with this car that's not lowered. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna get these wheel spacers on. Now these are 25mm spacers. It's the set that basically you can bolt onto the hub. So you bolt them in through the existing studs, and then you have some additional studs here that the wheels go on. Again, it's not, obviously it's best if you have the right offset wheels, but in my case, it is what it is. So we're gonna work with this. For now, this car is not gonna see any track time. It's just gonna be driving around on the street. So I think this is safe enough. But let's go ahead, let's get these on. These wheels, I cleaned them up. As you can see here, they're looking pretty good compared to when they first came in. I did do a little bit of, brushing some aluminum paint on it, spraying that just to kind of bring up some of the areas that I had sanded down and it kind of looked terrible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some compound polish on it just to remove some of the scratches that I put on with the sandpaper when I was cleaning. And then probably throw a little bit of ceramic coat, and then we're going to throw them on the car. So let's get started. I'm going to restore my wheel, the spare wheel, because that needs to get painted. So let's start with that. Stay tuned. Well, I think I have enough experience painting, so the spare wheel came out pretty good as you guys saw. Now we're gonna go put the wheel spacer on the back. So let's zoom in here. Let me show you what's going on. All right guys, so 5x1 14.3, this is a 25mm spacer, that's the width here. So I'm gonna throw this on. I'm gonna use some blue Loctite. You're probably best using red Loctite on these things, but I'm gonna use some blue for now because again, I know the use of the car and I potentially might take this off and do something different because I'm gonna change the suspension, and who knows, I might even change the wheels. I'm not sure. So for now, I'm going to use some blue Loctite. So I'm going to go ahead and apply blue Loctite on the existing studs. Just going to put a little dab on each end here that we're going to throw the bolt in. And again, I don't even think you need to have blue Loctite or red Loctite, but it's a safety measure. It just helps. So, it's cheap little fix to help you out. So I'm doing it. So that's it. Some blue Loctite. I liberally put it on there. And then we are going to this again is hub centric, so 60.1, that's the hub measurement in here. Simply line this up, and then you're going to throw these nuts right here, and I'm going to torque these down as I would the wheel. Now normally I do like 90 foot-pounds on my lug nut, so I'm going to torque it to the same 90 foot-pounds. I got my torque wrench handy. As you can see, it's right here, and I have the socket. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna torque these, and then we're gonna throw the wheel on. But before I throw the wheel on, I want to polish these wheels, so you'll see that as well. All right, so I got the spacer on, so now it's time to torque it. Again, I'm doing everything to 90 foot-pounds. So just five bolts, just torque them up. And then your wheel is ready to go on. that's it. Let's get to these wheels. Alright guys, so I like to use Maguire's products. They just work well for me and I can get them over the counter. So I don't go crazy with these type of things. I try to get stuff that's affordable and works. So I'm going to use some compound on the wheel, and then I have this Scratch X remover because again, there was so much rust buildup on the wheels. I had to literally sand it off, and it put a little bit of scratch in here. And again, these wheels are not new, they're old. So we're just trying to put lipstick on the pig at this point, right? Just trying to make it a little bit better, and obviously give some protection so when I wash the wheels or brake dust, it doesn't necessarily stick on it. So I'm going to use my drill. I had this kit with a sponge. I actually used this already. So we're just going to use this and just kind of get in and polish up the areas, and it should look much better. Let's see what happens. I don't know if you guys can pick this up on camera, but look, you can see like a reflection here. Look at that clarity. I don't know if it comes out on camera, and if you look at here, it's still dull. All right. All right guys, final process. So I polished it up. Again, these are old wheels. We're just trying to make them look a little bit better. And when we wash the car, we have nothing sticking to it. So I had this armor shield. I polished one of my cars probably about 1.5 years ago with this thing. Works very good, and it really helps with the wheels whenever you coat it. So again, look them up, armor shield. I'm not sponsored, trust me. but if you guys want to sponsor me, armor shield, I'll be happy to do so. But anyways, good product guys. So I'm gonna use this little sheet of cloth. It comes with a sponge, and you just apply it to the wheels, and it really helps with water. The water doesn't stick, nothing sticks to it. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna throw the wheels out. Well guys, we're at the point where in every project you put some work in and you want to see your results. So I'm going to throw the wheels on and we're going to see what it looks like. Again, the wheels were really bad. It's now ceramic coated, so it has a little film. It did bring up a little bit of gloss, so it looks a little bit shinier. But compared to what it was when I first got this vehicle to what it is today, night and day. So I'm happy with the results. Again, I know it's not perfect, but neither is the car. So let's throw it on. Let's see if this offset works. And then we're going to go to the front. I'm going to show you what I'm doing over there. It's a little tweak. Might work, might not work, but I'll show you in a second. Let's get this wheel on. The crazy thing about these Motegi wheels is these lug nuts. I mean, I was going to replace them because these are kind of old, but they're so narrow inside that you can only get a lug nut that's no greater than 20 millimeters across. And honestly, I couldn't find any. So I had to use back the old ones. Now, in the back is not a problem. In the front, I was going to put extended studs, but I can't because I can't even find lug nuts that will fit these wheels with an open end. So, you know, we're working with what we got before. So I'll show you on the front. I'm going to have to modify, change into extended studs and just kind of work with what I got because of these lug nuts right now. So let's torque this down and move on to the front. So I'm moving on to the front, and this was the original plan. I was going to put an extended stud with a 12 millimeter spacer, and then I bought these stubby lug nut bolts. These were the smallest in terms of the narrowest I could get to be able to fit into this little groove right here. Now, even with that, once this goes in, then I can't get the lock tool to work to remove this thing. So this is not going to work. So based on my measurements, and the 12 millimeter would have spaced this thing perfectly. The alternative, since I can't do that, is I have this 3 millimeter spacer that I had before laying around. So I'm going to throw that on because every millimeter counts. So we're going to push the front wheel out by 3 mil and see what this spacing looks like. But hey, this is what we're going to do for right now, unless I go radical and just absolutely modify and find some more open-ended lug bolts. But let's get this on and we'll see what it looks like. Okay guys, so here it is, the final product. This video took a while. You guys missed last week's video and I think the week before because I just got distracted. This car, I changed the oil pan seal, as you guys knew, and it leaked again, and I changed it, and that delayed me with this video, and it's leaking again in the same place. So I have no idea why the oil pan is leaking, but here is the stance with the wheels cleaned up and still stock suspension. It looks okay, but it's too tall, so at some point I'm gonna probably have to throw some coilovers on it. I did polish up the car, so it came out fairly good. Again, this is just an initial polish. I will do some more, so that's gonna be our video for this week. More to come. I'm probably gonna get the dash in on the next video. I am starting to fix the T-top because it is leaking, so it's a good thing I didn't put the interior in because it is leaking. But you know, the passenger side I fixed. This one I had to redo it, but I think I got it fixed, so we're gonna be working on that. So stay tuned, and here we go. This is the final product for today. The lights are in, it's polished, it's looking really good. So hope you guys enjoy it. Again, this car has really come a far way, and I'm happy to see it at this point. It's running and driving, and it's looking clean, and there's no rust. Stay tuned guys, we'll catch you in the next one.